the greatest thing about the entrepreneurship thing that I think about with Henry Ford is his famous quote, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So if you believe you can, you're on the right path. If you think it's going to be tough, you're also right.
First, we need to figure out what exactly is a technology to get to this issue. Well, a technology is really just a programming of nature. Sort of sounds abstract, but if you think about it, what technologies do is they take some kind of natural phenomenon and they structure it in a way that it reaches a goal. So a flashlight's a simple example. It structures chemical and physical phenomena like the electricity of the battery and the way the light bulb works, and it's towards the goal of making a beam of light. Right? All technologies can fundamentally be understood as this programming of nature.
Formal launch of the book by Zafar Anjum, the Startup Capital's book. So for that, I would like to invite on stage Mark Hobson, the CEO of Executive Networks Media. And I would also like Eric to join us on the stage, and of course, Zafar, the author.
I've seen him work tirelessly, and I've seen him work late at night. And somehow, and I'm always in awe of people, he also manages to write books and do screenplays, and does an amazing amount of work. So I'd just like to say it's been a real pleasure working with you for the last 5 years. I never knew there was a moment in time when a split second a book is launched, but this is it. And we will rip the cover off, and that will be the official launch of the book. So it was just a few words of gratitude, and thank you to Zafar, especially for this event. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark and Eric. Thank you very much.
Startup Capital is the launch of this guy's book, and he was very nice to invite me out to this amazing conference. I've been able to meet a lot of great people here. We've had some very stimulating conversations. It's definitely interesting for what we're doing in Thailand with the incubator in Southeast Asia. So yeah, I think the conversations here, definitely the topic from the book. I haven't read the book yet, but I'm very eager to read it. So this, I have a very long read list, but this is definitely going to get to the top of it pretty quick. So I think this was an excellent way to engage with the community all across the region. You've brought people out from all over the world, actually. And thank you very much for putting on such a great event. I've got to meet people here that I probably would never have been able to meet, and thank you for that opportunity. So it's great to be involved. Thank you.
The title for today is Incubating Startup, the role of incubator, accelerator, and the university. Now, interestingly, that there's no university people down here, so I think it's very conveniently we can just blame everything to them. Okay. Now, over down here, that my fellow panelists and myself is that we are all entrepreneurs. We started companies before, and just like Ephraim was started hacking when 16 years old. I started selling comics when I was below 12 years old in primary school. So these are the things that we have gone. I mean, we don't have the luxury of going through the incubations and all the form of education. We come from the school of hard knock. Singapore is able to capture the attention is largely because of the transparency, the ease of doing business. But doing business is not about just doing in Singapore, but doing in the whole region. So this is the place that you start. This is where you experiment. And a company can come here and build it first and eventually go back to their home country. And together, the whole region will grow together. So there's no competition, it's a lot of collaboration.
Startups are about creating the future, and every city in the world needs to be thinking about what it is doing to create a future, both for itself and for the world. And to me, Singapore is a great example. When you look around us, this is the most successful startup city in the world, from where it came from 50 years ago to what it is today. It's created a whole new future for itself.
Well, I think the next frontier for entrepreneurship is governance. Governance is a technology. It shares all the same fundamental attributes of a technology. It's just a lot messier than the code of life, the code of policy and governance is a lot messier than the clean code that we get, making mobile apps. We've seen the explosion and the incredible progress that startups have been able to make in physical technologies like cell phones and cameras and apps and the internet and platforms and social media and all this. There is another great revolution waiting to happen for the people who can find out how to get into what you might call the governance services industry.
ASEAN would do best if it worked together. There won't be a Silicon Valley of Asia, in my opinion. What there will be, if we get it right, is a series of connections between different hubs that all have different strengths. Singapore's costs are relatively high, but it's a fantastic place to incorporate because of the governance, and it's a fantastic place to raise money because of the availability of capital. So if we can connect that with the availability of skilled, affordable engineers in places like Vietnam and Philippines, for example, I think we can create companies which span the region.
So thank you very much for spending your time with us today and making the event a success. And see you in India in August 2015 with the Indian edition of Startup Capitals. And in Singapore next year probably. Thank you.